Kroeger from Nickelback. How you doing, buddy?
Doing well, brother.
What a wild story. And I was telling a bunch of people today already about this, right? I go into the pub in Paninis last night, and I walked by you, and a buddy of mine goes, well, you just walked by Chad from Nickelback. And I'm like, I thought he looked familiar. And you got your haircut and everything, so you look a little different.
I do.
And I go in, and I sit by you, and I got to tell you, I almost crap my pants. And I mean that because I'm thinking, you don't know who I am. And of course, I remember everything that went down with you and your girlfriend and everything else. So you turn to me and you go, hey, Mo, what's up? And I'm like, uh-oh. I go, something is about to go down. I'm like, the biggest rock star in the world, really, just came up to me and says, hey, Mo, what's up? So I knew there was going to be some sort of a confrontation. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm going, this guy can get away with anything he wants. I don't know if I'm going to end up in a dumpster somewhere. I don't know what's going on, So you kind of confronted me about what happened with your girlfriend, and not that we want to go back kind of, but when you had come to town a few years ago, a dude called the show, claimed to know your girlfriend.
Yes.
And a lot of things got said, I ran with it because it's a big story. And you don't think about the emotions, repercussions, whatever. You just do a show. And a once in a lifetime kind of thing. And you know who you are, obviously. But partying with you all night like we did, and really getting a chance to talk to your girlfriend and talk to you. I mean, you what a down-to-earth guy you are.
Thank you.
I mean, you're really, what a cool, down-to-earth guy. And then your girlfriend's there and everything. And you were kind of talking about the effect of what was said on the air had on the family and everything else. And I genuinely felt terrible about it after getting to know somebody. And I got to know you and I got to know her and I said, man, what a scumbag I am. And I truly mean that. I said some things and did not take good people, and that's what this is. I didn't take good people's feelings into consideration. And you and her and the family and everybody, and you were talking about military out there. They're good people.
They're great people.
And I was really put in a odd situation yesterday.
It wasn't about, when I came over to speak to you, it wasn't about confrontation. It was just about making you aware of the other side of the story.
Yeah.
And giving you some actual facts instead of some hearsay, and allowing you to hear a little bit of the impact that you actually have in the community.
Yeah.
And so once we started discussing that, and I talked to you about a lot of the things that went on after the show and the effect it had on the family and how upset they had become, just the entire ripple effect of that. And once we got a chance to get into it, that's when you said, I'm on tomorrow at 7 o'clock if you want to come and clear the air. And I said, I would love to, and you didn't believe me. And I reached into my pocket.
I couldn't believe that.
And I
was like, this dude just gave me his black platinum credit card.
Here's my American Express card.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not yours to go use.
I just bought 2 Ferraris. That was it. All right. They didn't even ask me for ID.
Just give me one of them. I like to share, and that was my way of proving to you. I'm like, I will be collecting this from you tomorrow at 7 o'clock when I do show up. And we get a chance to talk a little bit, and you get a chance to see face to face the family and get a chance to meet them because they are great people.
And I know they're fans of the station and the show, and the fact that they listen all the time. What can I say, man? What can I say?
I think her father said it very well. He said, you're a very, a very big man for being able to admit and say the things that you had just said to them. And like I said off the air, I'm very proud of you. And we've taken a negative story and turned it into a positive, and I couldn't be more proud of you.
Dude, you're like a really good dude. I mean, is that tough to be a good guy, being as famous as you are? Like, is it tough? It's almost like that Tim Tebow thing, People kind of give Tim Tebow crap for being a good guy, a good role model.
Right.
Is it tough to be a good dude? With all the temptation, you're Chad Nickelback.
I'm not always a good guy. I try to be a good guy.
No, I'm just saying. Even like last night, just yapping or whatever.
Sure.
You could have been that guy, and we've all run into, especially being in this business, and you obviously, you run into those famous people who let it get to their heads and
Yes.
just they're in the corner and F everybody.
And it doesn't
I'm
break
not-
your heart when you get a chance to meet somebody, especially if you're a real fan of them,
Right.
Or even if it's someone you just dreamt of meeting your entire life, and you get a chance to meet that person, and they just turn out to be just awful.
Well, I've run into that, yeah.
I mean, of course,
Yeah.
and it is awful, and I just never want to be that. You know, I don't ever want to have somebody come up to me. I don't care if I've got food on the end of my fork. When somebody comes up and says, "Hey, is it okay if I get a picture with you?" I'm always, yes, I would love to. And
Wow.
and people ask me all the time, "Does that ever get old?" I said, "I'll be more concerned when people stop asking me for my picture."
Yeah, wow.
Because that's how I would, when I get to meet my hero that I've always dreamed of meeting, I would like him to be able to take the time, look me in the eye, say thanks for being a fan, great to meet you. And it doesn't really require anything more than that. I think it's
Right.
harder to be mean to somebody or blow somebody off. It takes a harder toll on your own soul and your own heart than to just take 2 minutes and make that person's day.
We're talking to Chad Kroeger from Nickelback, who I was hanging out with last night at the pub. I know you got to go. I want to ask you a quick question.
Yes, sir.
We kind of touched on this last night. Does it can't bother you? And you guys had a great quote. Somebody was saying you're not the Foo Fighters, and I was reading that.
Oh.
And you said, "Well, I love the Foo Fighters and everything else." What is it about Nickelback? I mean, Nickelback is the biggest band of the decade. That's you cannot argue that. You guys have ruled the rock world, and when you talk about bands even in the 70s and really the 70s and the 80s, bands that you knew and that rocked for a decade or so, like Aerosmith or Black Sabbath, you guys have done it, but yet you have so many haters. That whole Thanksgiving deal and everything else. I mean, did that ever bother you? Or I mean, it can't, I guess.
We are a very polarizing band.
Yeah, you guys rock in concert, man.
Thank you. It's either you love this band and you'll take a bullet for them, or you absolutely detest the band,
Yeah.
and you'll go to great lengths to make sure that we try to, hear your opinion about it. If you step back and look at it, that is equally a good thing. You don't really want to be that band that people are just kind of flaccid about. It's like, take them or leave them. It's like, if we have to deal with the hate to be able to get the love, I'm willing to deal with the hate.
Yeah.
There you go.
Excellent. All right, man. Listen, Chad, I know you got stuff to do.
Mo, thank you so much for taking the time. It was great to meet you last night.
too.
And I congratulate you again for just stepping up and being a great person. And I know that you will do the right thing in the future. In fact, you came up a few times in the kitchen today when we were sitting around before we came down to the station. People were getting ready, and they told this great story about you. And there was a military funeral that was going on,
Yeah.
and a woman who was going to protest this. And you said, "I'll tell you what, if you don't go and protest this military funeral, I'll give you 2 hours of talk time on my radio station if you don't do that."
And
That doesn't come from a person with a bad heart. That comes from a person with a good heart.
I got a lot of crap for that too. Like a lot of people are like, "You're letting the Westboro Baptist Church win by doing this," and I'm going,
No, because that person got to have a peaceful
Right.
service.
Absolutely.
And that was what you meant to do.
Yeah.
And good on you, because if you could lure them away long enough so they could have a peaceful service, I congratulate you. You were a great person.
Well, so are you, man. What a freaking party yesterday.
We went late, and my head is definitely.
What time did you get up tonight?
Oh, I slept as late as I could. I mean, my head hit the pillow last night at about 6:45.
Yeah.
I guess this morning at 6:45, and I got up around 1 o'clock. So yeah, heading out to dinner. Thanks for taking the time, brother. Great to meet you.
You too, Chad.
And
Thank you very much, buddy.
hopefully we get a chance to talk the next time I'm in town.
I was going to say, I would love to, and not to be that guy, but, if you guys come to town, you have mutual friends who know me and everything, get a hold of me. I'd love to hang out, man.
Love to.
Seriously.
Awesome, buddy.
All right, Chad Kroeger from Nickelback. It's Q92. It's the Mo Radio Show.